Happy late morning, winds and stars and spirits. Hello. Uh, this is my second time up here, and I'm just finishing up some tea before I try something that I haven't done in a while. There is a ghost that supposedly guards a treasure nearby here, and I'm going to try to get it, but I need to be able to see ghosts for that purpose, so the tea that I drink is a magical one. And we're... Oh, I'm missing my favorite color. Here we go. Sulfur is a nice warm color. May as well, considering this might be a terrible idea. But I heard that the ghost had something to do. Ghost's treasure has something to do with the history of the Khelim. So we're going to try that. Can I avoid the ghost? Is there a way to avoid the ghost? It doesn't look like any of these are the item. This is a faded knot message. Betrayed. They hid a sea asp in my water jug. The double-crossing bastards. It got me in the tongue as I bit its head off. I can feel the poison raging through my veins. I swear by all the demons of the barrens, if I die in this barren hollow, I will haunt it until all my betrayers are dead, dead, dead. Okay, that's a lovely message. Could you maybe... Hi. You dare fling words at Sadia the Sea Fury? So be it, mortal. Know that your puny affront shall be repaid with interest, and if you draw steel against me, I will bring down upon you all the fury of the bitter barons. Hey, wait a minute. I just wanted to curse and savor my curse, mortal. Wait a minute. Wait. No, that's not... I was trying to see if you had information on the... This is not what I was hoping for. Alright. Does this mean I have to fight the ghost? I don't want to fight the ghost. I guess technically I probably should before the tea runs out. Oh dear. Oh no. Ouch. Okay. Ow. Okay. Well, now that the curse is lifted, maybe you cannot be so mean. Maybe. I am legitimately just afraid to talk to you right now. I think that was a bad idea, and I don't want to get cursed anymore today. Let's maybe go somewhere that's a little less dangerous. I think if I go down here, I pass another tavern. Maybe? Is this not... That's not the right way. Oh, this is me going to be me getting lost all day, isn't it? Alright, now, a little bit of food is probably a good idea. Okay. Fighting a ghost while cursed is not the best. Honeysuckle. Is this edible? Please tell me it is. I should have packed a bit more food. A pretty flower shaped like a funnel. The nectar of the honeysuckle is pleasantly sweet and can be easily sucked from the bottom of the flower. Oh, this seems nice. Not my first choice, but my first choice would have been to have explored the cave and found some information without having to fight an angry ghost. Or all of you could... I don't want to fight... Anyway, I just fought a mad ghost. I don't want to fight bandits. Come on. Winds aren't being kind to me today while I'm looking for... answers to... Well, firstly... why the Khelim are here. Everyone in the Braided Shore calls us Khelim or Dandelion because we wander, and that's something that dandelion seeds do, I guess. I personally was not entirely aware of all of the information behind it, but I heard that the Third Age is when the first Khelim came to the Braided Shore, after the first wave of Asken folk. And there is a disc, a sailor's disc, that is supposedly guarded by that ghost, although I was not able to find it, and I don't know that I want to go back to try to look for it now. I don't really need a bundle of feathers, but thank you. But south of here there is supposed to be a historian that knows a lot about the Third Age and also about the age that comes after that, the Asken Dynasty. The Third Age is called the Age of Settlement, from what I remember talking to a historian at an archaeological site in Kuro Orchard, which is south of Mur, which is a little ways away from here. Not too far. But it is one of, I guess I would say one of my secondary interests outside of all of these old ruins and architecture that we don't know what age it comes from, or whether it is Eldin, the first stage, or Varn, the second. The Third Age is somewhat of an in-between between the first two ages, which have lots of tall tales surrounding them from my understanding. And it's hard to pick out what is myth and what isn't. So I'm going to travel to see if I can talk to a historian that I found a knot belonging to. The knot that I found is a story about the Twilight Knight, and Isahausen, the first monarch of the Halsen dynasty. So, oh, the potion hasn't worn off. I forgot about that. Oh, the ghost gave me a scare. Alright. Oh. I don't know that I have anything I could give you. I think the Skald wants wine, and I don't really have that right now. Some of the ghosts are rather friendly. It's interesting that, well, I guess it makes sense you'd find a Skald's ghost near the Skald's retreat. And that Skalds would have a way to sneak in and out of the city, but we're not going to question that too much since the blockade in Casa is a problem for a lot of travelers. If I go to the tea house... Yes. You're wearing the robes of a scholar from Rivenleaf. Jivaka, by Manus's bottom. Excuse my language, but is that what I think it is? No, surely not. Where did you come by that ring, Khelim? Looks like a genuine Gehem artifact. Oh, the ring. Perhaps it might be the Eye of the Taker. Ah, right. The ring that's supposedly an old mystic made for Methodius, the first of the old dynasty leaders in the Third Age. I can scarcely believe it. For the ring to find its way here to Casa, the birthplace of King Methodius, the winds must surely be blowing at your back. It is said that its first master, its only true master, was buried here in the city, but that was many ages ago, and no one has been able to find a grave. I wonder if the winds blew you to Casa to get the ring here, or did they blow that ring into your hands so that you might seek out the city? Forgive me, I should stick to history and not prophecy. Oh, do you have any other information on artifacts? I see you are an appreciator of history as well. Yes? That is a replica of Talzir, is it not? I could not be the real thing, of course. Oh, the cloak I'm wearing. A long and prestigious journey that cloak has. Survivor of legend and war, weathering the shifting ages and the cobalt eclipse of the Frost Hag herself. Oh, that was the event that ended the Third Age, wasn't it? Talzir, along with its sister, Menzire, were gifted by Queen Lethiades to her children, Prince Semethep and Princess Sashinja. Prince Semethep, or Hestu Sem, or Sootmouth as he later became known, carried the cloak for many of his legendary adventures. It is said that he later gifted it to his spouse, Arhab, who kept it at her birthplace in Rivenleaf. The Hab dynasty was the Rivenleaf dynasty during the First Age, right? It lay in Rivenleaf Castle for many generations until it was given to Issa Halzan as a peace offering when the Kingdom of Rivenleaf swore fealty to her during the Lord's War. From Issa it passed to her daughter Ilmana, and from her into obscurity. I have heard some of my colleagues argue that it must have then passed to Ilmana's niece, Sila Halzan, but I am doubtful. None of the depictions of Sila show her wearing the cloak, and no actual credible sources suggest that she ever came into possession of it. No, I believe that Talzire was interred with Ilmana upon her death, something now unconfirmable after the Halzan Columbrium collapsed into the sewers. But maybe someday. Oh, part of this cloak that I had mended had something that was found in the sewers. Oh, maybe I can figure out a better way to explain later. So the Third Age. As the exploration era of the Third Age came to a peaceful close, settlements and homesteads had grown to become prosperous towns and cities. That would be at the end of the Khelim, because they traveled around to settlements to help build them. The largest of these towns became small kingdoms dotted around the Braided Shore. Most of the kingdoms were led and ruled by a single person each. These became the founders of the old dynasties. I would like to preface that the line between history and fiction has become muddled over the generations, especially when it comes to the Third Age. So it is best to keep a crumb of skepticism in one's pocket when researching the legends of the old dynasties. There are many interesting old dynasties, like the Habs of Rivenleaf or the Summer Foxes of Ovitalif. However, arguably the most famous of the dynasties was the old dynasty right here in Casa. While we do not know their true name or their original founder, we do know that their first provable members were King Methodius and his wife Thelathen. We believe the dynasty lasted 3 or 4 generations after Methodius, ending with sometime before the Cobalt Eclipse and the Lord's War thereafter. Two events where many of the old dynasties met their end. When Isahalzen founded a completely new ruling dynasty from the throne of Kasa, the Third Age had ended, and with it most of the old dynasties. I could drone on for days on the subject, but I must get back to my writing. I do hope I have managed to inspire some sliver of scholar's thirst in you. There is so much history that has yet to be deciphered. It is both exciting and heartbreaking. Maybe one day you might visit Rivenleaf. I would be delighted to talk further then, if your curiosity has not yet dimmed. I would love to. I actually found a knot that I think you wrote, if I have it with me. Yes, about the Twilight Knight, Bodran. The Twilight Knight that vanquished the calamitous Frost Hag is an enigma. We know that he met Isahalzen before the Cobalt Eclipse descended on the Braided Shore, but the circumstances of their meeting is unknown. We know he had a sister who is rumored to have contracted the Frost Hag's curse touch. By how this happened has not been discovered. What's even more curious is that there's no official mention of Bodran or his sister after the fall of the Frost Hag. One would assume that he would stay at Issa's side when she formed her empire, but alas, there is no mention of him being there. One would think that perhaps he lost his life in the battle against the Hag like so many others did, but no grave has ever been found. Such a hero would undoubtedly have been given a magnificent tomb. So where is it? Yes, Jivaka, this is yours. I also heard that as far as the start of the First Age, ships with Asken children came to the Braided Shore. The story about these sulfur roots is that when the Asken children first landed in the Braided Shore, they simply could not have had the time or knowledge to hunt or farm. So how did they survive? Some folks say the Sephra might have taken pity on the children and helped them, and perhaps that is so. But I reckon the children foraged in the woods and rivers. Braided Shore is, after all, abundant with wild berries, fruits, and especially edible roots. Chakru historian at Rivenleaf, which is where you are from. I guess I should stop rambling. Maybe there's tea? Maybe I should go get some tea. Or we could possibly try to find... Who else do I know that knows of the Third Age? There's that historian that gave me a brief summary in Coral Orchard. Jivaka seems to focus more on the tangible side of the Third Age. Oh. What's the fastest way to Batsaha? I think it might be back through here. Because if there's one thing that Khelim are told the first time they get to the Braided Shore, it is to go to Batsaha. And there is an old temple there that we are specifically suggested to visit. if I can remember. If I can remember the fastest way there. Easiest way would be to find a nomad's rest. Ah! Why are there so many bandits running around? Why is the warden running in the other direction? Excuse me. No, I'm not. I'm busy. I'm busy, I'm not paying a toll. Thank you, bye. No. I'm tired of fighting bandits and ghosts and curses this morning. But if the Sea Fury came here around the Third Age, maybe she was one of the first, but she didn't seem like a child. But the treasure I've heard you can get from the Sea Fury is a disc that talks about the ancient sailors, which apparently were mostly children. So for now, after getting cursed, fighting a sea fury, and finally sneaking into Casa so that I could talk to the historian that is stuck there, while Jivika doesn't have a lot of information on the Khelim specifically, they do have a lot of information on this, whatever well-known histories there are at the end of the Third Age during the old Dynasties. I know that there's a historian. I know there's a historian up here. Alright. If I am going to talk to them and get to Badsaha. Who was it? Someone once told me that the Khelim appeared suddenly during the Third Age, traveling and acting as craftsmen and the occasional mystic.
Yes.
Oh, this is Shakaru. I read his notes on the plants earlier that talked about the children coming to the Braided Shore, the Asken. This is one of the oldest sites ever found where there's evidence of large-scale pottery making of our ancestors. This is a site closely connected to the evolution of Asken folk society. It should be revered as a place of great importance in regard to ancestral craftsmanship and development. That's what's going on with the dig site. I am authorized to trade you for any historically interesting pieces you might find. Rivenleaf is well funded and can offer competitive trade for items of scholarly interest. Do you share interest in the cultural differences of the different ages of us Asken folk in the Braided Shore? Let's talk about that next time we speak. Yes, no, wait, about that. So, Wanderer, what is your favorite historical period? The Fourth Age, the Age of the Halzen. Many interesting eras in that age, I cannot but agree. The Third Age, the Age of Settlement, perhaps, with its exploration, consolidation, and culturalization eras. That Jivaka talked about earlier, but mostly the Ending Age. Being the time of the original Khelim wanderers, I can imagine it would be of particular interest to someone like yourself. Or is it the ill-fated Second Age, the Varim Age, that thrills you? So few artifacts and evidence remain from that age. Perhaps the first age of wonder, the Elden Age. Well, all of them technically, but, I guess I might just check back at the temple at Bat Saha. If I'm looking for more information about Khelim, that's where we're usually told to go. If I remember correctly, the first time I traveled there, I used a knot that was given to me by the temple guardians. Alright, let's hope this works. And the Dandelion Temple. Perhaps you remember me? This is not the first time I've met the talking deer. Welcome, Dandelion. I am Raman, one of the guardians of the temple. By act of your entry, you have now tied your home knot to this sanctuary. You can always return here from safety by binding a simple knot spell. Oh, this is where I learned that. The only reagent needed is a common dandelion. However, I must warn you, Wanderer, this spell only works if you are close to a nomad's rest. Nomad's Rest wind shelters can be found throughout the Braided Shore. Find a Nomad's Rest and you can find your way back here. Now step further into the temple, traveler. Ron wishes to speak to you. Oh, okay. Wonder if the original came from a Third Age built those Traveler's Rests. Hello, Ron. Magic is a language, one that those of my kind speak fluently. You, however, must strive to learn the basics, language, and grammar of making and combining that knowledge with physical rituals of brewing tea and tying knot spells. I've gotten better at that. The simple dandelion that grows on this isle is all that is needed to bind the Khelim's knot. But more advanced skills require more precise reagents. There lives a deep lander on the mainland who can tell you how to search for reagents in the wild. Give her this flower and she will know that we sent you. Look for her in the western parts. Her song can often be heard there. Farewell. Concentration and knowledge is required for any student of magic. I hope you have not forgotten my first words to you. As for your nearest future, know that there is a darkness slowly building to lay siege upon this temple, and that we will call for your aid when the evil time finally comes. What? So arm yourself with wisdom and strength of many colors. You must make your own way now. We will meet further down the road. Farewell, Khelim. Okay, that part I feel like I may have missed in the in the first time I was here. What is the Temple Keeper's Blossom? This tender flower was given to you by one of the keepers of the Dandelion Temple. The keeper suggested you seek out and offer the flower to the Deeplander. The Deeplander is apparently in the habit of singing as she goes about her business. Alright. I've met and spoken with her before, that I know. That's how I learned to make knot spells. To be fair, I don't know that they remember me, but it must be easy to forget when you have a bunch of travelers consistently wandering into your temple to ask you why they're here. I don't know that the Deeplander has any specific information about the Third Age, so I may talk to them later. For now, though, I think it is time for tea and rest after considering I have spent half of, or a part of my day cursed and the other half fighting Sea Fury and bandits. Or avoiding bandits. So, for now, thank you, spirits, and anyone who may have followed me on this trip, and safe travels.